day. How you doing? It is Black Coach Jack back with you with another video. It just is a video just as my workout journey. A few people like my videos when I'm working out, and I just wanted to put you basically a part of my life. So I wanted to just touch on my journey, and I hope it inspires someone. But again, this is content that I thought should be relevant, especially for Amazon workers, which I'll touch on at the end of how it can apply or how does it apply to my life. So I'm actually selfish today. I'm going to talk about myself in regards to my fitness journey. So here we go. I worked at a website company called RayRay.com, Reynolds Web Solutions, and I was in a corporate environment. And so in the corporate environment, at the time they had a show called Who's the Biggest Loser? So one guy named Rick, very cool guy, he wanted to create this within the corporate workspace that we had. It was a small crew of people. There's several branches, but we were the branch that was in that state. And it was about maybe 50 employees in that building. What I decided is bringing to his attention, how can we have the biggest gainer instead of just people losing weight? What about people that want to gain muscle? Now in the past, I wasn't really involved into working out. I believe the first time that I ever decided to work out is, I'm not gonna lie, when 50 Cent came out, I was inspired because he was from my area in Queens, and he was cool and he was built, and I just was like, wow, it was just cool to me that someone that's cool and worked out. I thought that was pretty awesome. So he actually had me doing push-ups and stuff like that here and there. So he actually had me doing push-ups and stuff like that here and there, also learning about how to eat, what to eat. So I didn't get too specific, but up until the point where we had the biggest, who's the biggest loser per se, that's when I got involved. So this gentleman, Rick, every week he would measure the men, and he would measure their arms, their waist, and their legs, and their chest. So every week he'll come around, and I decided to join a rec center. And in the rec center, that's where it all started. Every single day, and had off on Sundays. I wasn't the best at my diet, but I knew what to eat. But my biggest thing was gaining. So your boy was eating ice cream with peanut butter with protein powder. I had the creatine. Rec Center was my supplier. I believe I had one pull-up bar, which I still have to this day. I had a 25-pound weight belt. Big shout out to Walmart. A curling bar for Walmart. But I knew what to do as I was growing. I watched videos. What I wanted to do was do something where you will work the heaviest weight, right? So you do your reps on the heaviest weight, and then you cut that weight in half, and then you're working that until you can't do it anymore. And I was sticking to that heavy. And so that was doing it for me, because not only are you gaining weight, but you're also being sculptured. You know what I mean? You can get the cuts and stuff from doing the little weight and doing that several times. Now, mind you, there was never such thing in my life where you speed workout. That is not in the picture. It was always a case of taking your time. As I got older, I learned about time under tension, which is a great fit for me. I love it, I love it, I love it. The only problem is that you can't really count 30 seconds per workout. Like, you're not gonna complete a whole round. You're not gonna complete 2 or 3 sets, because it's time under tension. So you probably get like 1 body part in or 2 body parts in. Other than that, that's it. Or yes, the rec center was the thing. Rick had created a workout schedule. So Mondays and Wednesdays is back biceps, calves. The other day was the abs, the shoulders, and the legs. So when I worked out, I had a notepad and a pencil and noted everything. So it was a case where the company dissolved, there was a dissolution, but I was still at it, still cut. Went to a different rec center, but no matter where I was, I would hit the floor because the floor is free and you could work out on the floor. Different variations. If you've seen a bar or a rail, you do the pull-ups there. Abs, calisthenics was the thing if you didn't have the weight. So there was a point where I had a downside where I was very depressed, very depressed, and I didn't eat, period. And so I had lost all that stuff I had was all gone. I was going to a very dark place at that time, and it was all gone. I was heavy set at one point where I was eating a bunch of sweets, cookies, to a point where I was blowing up. That's when I was living in an apartment complex and they had the gym. So I was working out, but I still ate a lot of sweets. So of course I called it chunky. And I was chunky with a belly. So I had to get rid of that. 10 years ago, I made the decision by watching a movie called Forks Over Knives. You could see that on YouTube or you could see it, I think it was a DVD at the time. They might have it on YouTube called Forks Over Knives. Basically, the video was describing how people in third world countries did not have these food deserts like you see now. There was no, in China, there was a gentleman that was in China, and basically he was living in China, very healthy, and then when we moved to America, he had all these problems. How it inspired me and enlightened me to become vegan. So that's another thing that I had to install is, okay, how do you gain weight? How do you stay fit as a vegan? How do you gain? And so I learned from that, which was
the pinto, the beans, the chickpeas, tempeh, the yama burgers, which I love, by the way, bananas, sweet potatoes, avocado.
The list goes on and on. You can do that for yourself. I'm not gonna. But yeah, that was basically my journey. Do I still do it? Obviously, you see for the videos. Yes, I still do the videos, even during a graveyard shift, and the new shift change now where it is 5 days a week. Let's talk about the downside of me, because I'm being transparent with you. I've always had problems with cookies. Cookies is my thing. Then next to cookies is chocolate. It can be, I could get guilty by eating chocolate. Chocolate and peanut butter are my cousins. They're like cousins to me. I love it to a point where, you know, my progress won't show the way it's supposed to show. And, you know, I can get diabetes. I always feel that if I can stay active, then I won't get diabetes. But what about your gut? Your gut's toe up. Your gut is going to be damaged. You're going to have a bad digestive tract. Your liver's going to get damaged. So this is something I'm telling to myself. So yeah, in regards to that, that's my weakness. Is I'm not into Jolly Ranchers and that kind of. I'm not into that. Chocolate, and peanut butter is my biggest weakness. Not so much peanut butter, but the chocolate. Milk chocolate. My go-to is protein bars and cookies. There you have it. There you have it from an Amazon worker who has a big issue. Matter of fact, one of the things about Amazon is that, you know, I'm not sure if I'm able to say this, but there are items that are heavily damaged, which is true actually. Anything that's in the recycle bin can be not literally in a recycle bin, but anything that's not refurbished, but basically anything that's really damaged, they have to, turn it to problem solve, and they have to scan it, and after that it's trash, but it is accountable for. Well, for that matter, since it's already damaged, not in a way where it's unsanitary, I partake in anything that's dealing with chocolate or protein bars. So that's one of my issues that I have. Let's see, moving forward, I guess I should say, how does this apply to Amazon? I mean, Deion Sanders said it himself. He practiced like he plays. So when he plays, is as if he's practicing. So that's the same thing. You're gearing your body up for the workout at work. Now, of course, you're going to do a lot of burn. So, of course, if you're trying to lose weight, that's fantastic. Working out at home and then using your cardio for work. Someone like me, I have to stay packed, because if not, I'm going to lose because I burn so much. So for lunch, you'll be seeing me with a salad, chickpeas, turmeric. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But yeah, with turmeric on it. The food is unlimited. Oatmeal on deck, peanut butter sandwiches. One day I'm going to make a video about turmeric. Guys, anyone that works at Amazon, please keep that in your pocket. You're missing out. Look it up. It's anti-inflammatory. All the joints and stuff, it heals it. It'll be gone. Your back has issues, gone. Turmeric tea, sprinkle turmeric, anywhere you would take turmeric, gone. Result, problems gone. That's all I have today really. Have a good day.